Okay, this is the making of the strategic, tactical, and action plan template for an organization. Under uh, the three plans, we'll look at the key things all along about the focus on the scope. We look at the timelines which are expected, and then the level of personnel, and lastly, we look at the environment. So under every plan, from strategic to tactical and then to action, we're looking at those four key scenarios and how they operate within the scope, the timeline, the level of personnel, and the environment. So under a strategic plan, the focus on scope here, it means that you must have a broad scope covering all relevant domains. So when you're talking about a strategic plan under scope, we are talking about the entire organization. And in terms of the long term duration, here the timelines for the strategic plan is always around 3 to 5 years. So whatever you're going to talk about strategically about an organization, you have to think about 3 to 5 years to come, how the organization will look like. The level of personnel involved is the leadership of the leadership, and here we talk about the top level managers. These top level managers, they are like the CEO, the MDs, the senior managers who will be looking at the bigger picture about the organization. What about the environment? Under strategic plan, here we are talking about external and internal environment. So we are talking about the entire organization within the inside or the internal focus, and then externally, how would the organization look like? So the environment, about strategically, we have to talk about everything. Then on the tactical plan, under the focus on scope, we talk about the specific focus areas or focus departments. So remember, under the strategic plan, we are talking about covering all relevant domains. But when we go to tactical, we are talking about how many departments do we have, how many areas of focus we'll be talking about, so that we kind of divide those departmental so that they can be led by able people to lead, so that you can see all how the work goes. Under the timeline for tactical, it's 1 to 2 years, meaning they are trying to meet what the timelines were for the strategic plan. Under the level of personnel, who are these people will be handling this aspect? We are talking about mid-level managers. So the mid-level managers will be the one handling the tactical plan for that organization. What about the environment? Environment here, the people or the issues being handled here is operational resources and the conditions which will make it better for us to realize the bigger picture about which is the strategic plan. So when I talk about tactical, is scaling down to look at which key areas that are needed for us to achieve the bigger picture. Then let's head to the template on action. So under action, we'll look at the focus and scope for the action area. Here, the plan is you have to look at the detailed immediate steps. So remember, under strategic is a broad area covering all relevant domains. Tactically, we are going to talk about the focus areas or the focus department, but in action, we are going to see a detailed immediate steps which are supposed to be taken for you to realize the tactical space before the tactical improves to broad scope covering. Then in terms of timelines, under action, it's individual team tasks. Who are these people who will be handling those detailed immediate steps? Under the level of personnel, we are going to look at the frontline employees or teams. Yeah. So Under the level of personnel, remember, in strategic plan, it's all about the focus on top level managers, the CEOs, the MDs, the senior managers. Under tactical, we are going to talk about mid-level managers and team leaders. And under action, it's about the individual team tasks, the short-term milestones and the timelines. So every task which is performed, we and finished nicely within the time given, is we call it a milestone. So it's like we are achieving one area after another. Under the level of personnel here is the frontline employees or the teams that are supposed to work on that specific task. The environment here is day-to-day conditions. Remember, under environment, we have under strategic plan is external and internal environment. Under tactical, we go to operational resources. And under action, we will move to the day-to-day conditions, like making the budget, which will be an easy, which will make the work easier for us. Specifically, that's how you'll come up with the strategic, tactical, and action plan for an organization.